The sun had long surrendered to the dust of Kwara Fortress, a brutal colonial-era prison compound carved from red clay brick and iron bars, buried deep in the Savanna heartland, where the baobab trees stood like silent witnesses to suffering. Inside the bamboo cages that lined the upper corridors, dozens of prisoners pressed their faces against the bars. Men, women, farmers, healers, warriors stripped of their weapons and their dignity. They had been taken from their villages by the Kura Guard, soldiers of the Warlord Danka Osi, who wore gold-trimmed uniforms like decorations on a monster. They had been there for weeks. But tonight, everything was about to change. No one saw her coming. One moment, the upper walkway was empty. The next, Katana was there. She landed on the wooden rail of the second floor balcony with the silent precision of a leopard dropping from a branch, her braided hair whipping behind her like the tail of something untamed. Her outfit, tribal patterned fabric in deep earth tones of ochre, black and copper, clung to a body that had been forged not in a gym, but in years of running barefoot across the cracked earth of the Sahel, climbing the red rock faces of the Mandara Mountains and surviving things no person should survive alone. Her eyes were the most dangerous thing about her. Dark, still, absolutely certain. Below, in the open courtyard, 6 of Danka's Kura guards had just realized something was wrong. Their spears swung upward, their rifles clicked. Their leader, a barrel-chested lieutenant named Sorrow, bellowed across the compound. "Intruder! Second level! Take her alive!" Alive? She almost smiled. They always said alive, as if she was something to be caught and caged like the people rotting in these cells. She had other plans. Sorrow's men surged forward across the red dirt courtyard, boots pounding the earth, spears and gun barrels raised. There were 8 of them now. 2 more had sprinted in from the eastern gate, drawn by the alarm. Katana didn't retreat. She leapt. With one powerful push off the wooden balcony rail, she launched herself outward, arm extended to grip the thatched overhang of the prisoner cage roof, using the momentum to swing her body in a wide arc. Her bare feet cleared the head of a lunging guard by inches, and she dropped back onto the balcony 10 feet further along, rolling smoothly to absorb the impact. The prisoners inside the cage erupted. "She's here! She came! Katana! Katana!" The name rippled through the compound like fire through dry grass. Even the guards faltered for a half second, because even they had heard the name. The girl from the Niri villages, the one Danka Ose had put a bounty on 6 months ago and had never been able to collect. The one who had burned 3 of his supply convoys and freed 47 prisoners from Fort Benue without losing a single life. The one who was, impossibly, standing right in front of them. Sorrow steadied his nerve and raised his fist. "Don't stand there staring! Move!" Katana moved first. She grabbed the wooden post beside her, spun around it like a dancer, and drove both feet into the chest of the first guard who reached the staircase. He flew backward, crashing into 2 others and sending all 3 tumbling in a heap of uniforms and bruised pride. She landed, snatched a fallen spear from the ground, and used the shaft, not the blade, to sweep the legs of a 4th guard who came at her from the left. He hit the dirt hard. She never drew blood if she could avoid it. That was her rule, her mother's rule before her. 2 more guards circled her from opposite sides, a classic flanking move, the kind Sorrow drilled into his men every morning. But Katana had been studying the Kura guards' tactics for 3 months. She knew every pattern, every weakness. She let them close in. Then she dropped flat to the wooden planks of the walkway. She rolled sideways as both men lunged and they crashed into each other, heads connecting with a sound like two clay pots knocked together. She was back on her feet before they hit the ground. Below, Sorrow was screaming orders, pointing upward, his face twisted with fury and something else. Something he would never admit in front of his men. Fear. Katana reached the cell at the far end of the walkway, the largest one where the village elders were being held. Her hands found the lock. From a small pouch tied at her hip, she produced a thin piece of worked iron, hand-forged, shaped to her specifications by the blacksmith of Oke village, an old man with trembling hands and perfect precision. The lock turned. The door swung open. An elderly man stepped forward first. Chief Adeze's husband, Emeka, grey-bearded and thin from weeks of poor food, but standing straight, eyes fierce. "We knew you would come," he said. "I'm late," Katana replied, already moving to the next cell. "We argue about it later. Right now, move." She walked down the row, lock after lock, cell after cell, prisoners spilling out into the walkway, some barely able to stand, others ready to fight. She handed the spear to a young man with fury in his eyes. "The eastern gate," she told him. "My people are waiting there. You lead them. Don't stop. Don't look back." Katana turned to find Sorrow himself climbing the stairs. Alone now, his men scattered, disarmed, or groaning on the courtyard floor below. He was a big man, former military, hands like iron mallets. He drew no weapon, neither did she. "You're going to burn for this," he said, stepping onto the walkway. "Danka will tear your village apart. He will..." "Danka," Katana said calmly, "is already being dealt with." Sorrow blinked. A flicker of something, doubt, crossed his face. And in that half second of hesitation, Katana moved. 3 steps, 2 feints, 1 precise strike, the heel of her palm to the side of his jaw, her knee driving into his midsection, and then a controlled throw that sent him over her hip and down onto the walkway boards with a force that shook the whole corridor. He lay there, gasping. She stood over him, breathing steady. "Tell Danka," she said quietly, "that Katana was here." By the time the moon was high and white over the savannah, 112 prisoners walked free through the tall grass, guided by Katana's network of scouts and allies. Behind them, the Kwara fortress blazed, not from fire, but from shame. The Kora guard's reputation had collapsed in a single night. Word would spread by morning. By noon, it would reach every village from the river delta to the mountain pass. Katana walked at the back of the column, as she always did, watching, listening, making sure no one was left behind. Chief Emeka fell into step beside her after a while. "What happens now?" he asked. She looked out at the horizon, at the vast, dark, beautiful land stretching endlessly before them, older than any warlord, older than any prison, older than any chain ever forged. "Now," she said, "we go home." She didn't smile, but her eyes